Hey, babe, let me ask you a question. Not just a little question, but a real question. Have you ever felt like you're almost becoming the person you dreamed of being, but something inside of you keeps pulling you back? You can see them, you can hear their voice, you can even feel them rising up inside of you, but something tightens. Your chest clogs your throat, or makes you second guess yourself. This week, we're not diving into what you want to become. We already started that last week. This week, we're going to find how to become her. That means checking in with what's still gripping you from the inside out. It's holding you back, and gently letting go of what no longer belongs there. Those energies, those thoughts, those emotions that are still clinging on to you, those residual energies bouncing around in your nervous system, bouncing around in your energetic field, that are echoes from a past, a place where you no longer are at. This week it's going in and simply washing your hands of them, simply releasing those things that were never yours to be holding on to in the first place. It is about letting go of what is no longer meant for you. So if you're ready, take a big deep breath, my dear, and let's start going inwards. Hey, welcome to What's Your Question podcast, where every week we dive into a real deep question. Those big questions, the ones that seem so small at first until you get looking at them and realize how much of an impact that one thing is having on you in the here and the now. It may have been something that happened 10 years ago, but for some reason, you're still carrying those things around. Yeah, that's what we're talking about. We're all about holistically coming back into being with ourselves, finding your truest, raw self, that person you've always been, but we're always too afraid to be. Because somewhere along the line, you were told, or you've been led to believe, that that one thing about you was bad, that one thing about you wasn't good enough, wasn't big enough, all the things. In What's Your Question podcast, we question tradition. We question the ideas that have been set into motion by our parents, our grandparents, our great ancestors. We question all the things from modern to the past. Why things have to be this way, nice, neat, and tidy, versus what does your heart say? What do you feel deep down in the core of your belly? That thing that just kind of sits there and aches and moans. That's what we're talking about. All right, and in today's episode, you're welcome for that, we are talking about a continuation of last week's conversation. Last week we dived into the beginning half of if nobody told you who you had to be, who would you choose to be? Such a small little question, but such a big pack. It holds a big punch, man. To answer that question, just in its forefront, just its surface level, is easy. But when you start playing with the idea of how to truly become that person, you are ready to step into being your truest, dreamest, amazingest person, that question takes on a whole brand new meaning. when you start looking at how to become your truest dream self, that person inside that has either been hid or has been too something. You might not even have a word for it, but you felt that that's what you needed to do, what you wanted to do. In this week's episode, the continuation, part two of last week's episode of who would you be if nobody told you how to be, and we're going to go into the how-tos of it. If you missed last week's episode, hit my profile picture, swing over, and check it out. It's right here on my YouTube channel. All right, but this week, we're diving into why are you afraid to become that person? Because the underlying fears that you have about that person are things that you're holding on to from some distant past, or some random sentence or a word that you heard as you passed by somebody. The things that we've been led to believe in our life are true, but deep down inside, we've always known it wasn't as true as they thought it was. Or at least it wasn't the truth for you. It may have been their truth, but it wasn't ever your truth. Those fears that we hold on to so tightly, so deeply, sometimes we don't even know where they come from. It's just always been that way. And y'all, if you follow me for long enough, you'll learn real fast that I always to question things when I say I want to go do something, or you want to go do something, and someone comes up and goes, "You can't do that." I encourage you to curiously ask them, why not? Yeah. Ask them why not. And if their answer is, because you just can't. Because this is the way it's always been. That is your red flag right there going, hey, wait a second, we need to re-examine this. All right? So last week, we started that bigger question. And we went through that beautiful guided meditation so that you could truly see what it is that the universe sees for you in that dream, truest version of you. So I highly recommend go back and watch part 1 to this week's question of, if nobody told you who to be, who would you choose to be? So this week we're going to dive into all those whys you're afraid. Not from that deep inner level, but from that higher level. From that level of checking in with yourself in the here and the now, and the things that are coming along with you. This is that bigger question of, how do I become the version of me I've always dreamed of being? Not just fantasizing about them or secretly dreaming, or maybe you're too afraid to even dream of that person. Are you too afraid? You are. That's all right. We've all been there. We're not just fantasizing about becoming them. Not just writing vision boards or doing a Pinterest board going, ooh, that's the dream life. No, we're examining all the details and the versions inside. We're not just setting goals, but we're becoming that person, the true you, from the inside out and the outside in. One little layer at a time. It's like peeling back an onion. Like, I love Shrek. And this is what I think of every time when I get talking about any question, any person, any event. We're ogres. We're like an onion. And there are multiple layers inside everything that's ever happened to us. Which is why we find ourselves re-triggered after we thought we'd gone through and released everything from that thing, just to find that old thing comes back up and pops back into our life. Because every event, every person that has ever stepped into your life, whether you see it as a good thing or a bad thing, it's irrelevant. There are multiple lessons upon lessons upon lessons that we learn from every encounter in our life. We're trying to decode that. And babe, you've got a whole life, an entire life. This is not something that's quick. This is something that takes time. And there's no time limit. I want to remind you very, very, very much so on this. There's no time limit to healing. There's no time limit to letting go of things. There's no time limit. So wherever you are, right here, right now, is absolutely perfect for you. So let's dive in even deep. Question of the Week series that airs on all of our social media channels, part 1, 2, 3, and 4, where we break down step by step in little baby bite size for daily actions that you can take to slowly start coming over these things, to slowly start addressing these things. And we do that on purpose because, for example, it's like trying to eat a burger. If you try to shove the whole thing in your mouth, you're going to choke on it. And if you're eating it way too fast, you're going to give yourself a stomach ache. Right? Right? Life is the same way, especially when you start going into yourself, when you start tapping into your inner mother, your inner father, your inner child, your inner teenager, all of these different aspects of you that have been injured in your life in one way or another, or you haven't received the outcome or the acceptance or the information that you always felt that you needed. It takes a lot of time. But that's okay, because you got your whole life to do this, right? But we don't want to wait our whole life for the dreams to come in. Hell no, hell no. We want to start envisioning and living those dreams much, much sooner, right? We would like to start seeing the results and the manifestations of them happening in our life today, which is why I give you little daily bite-sized pieces. So you can check those out. I always try to include a little additional information that's not here in the podcast, but you know what? It's cool if you don't. Because I got you, babe. I got you. I need to go back over last week a little bit. So if you did miss last week's episode, I highly encourage you to go back and do that, okay? Where we go deep into the first half of this question. All right? It's a really good episode. Please go check it out. So last week, step 1 is you identify the person you want to be, the person that you dream of being. We're not looking at individuals out there that we're like, oh my God, I want to be you. You're freaking amazing. We're not doing that. But you can use them as an inspiration. Because here is the truth. You don't love the entirety of that person. You love a perception of that person. Because we do not always see all the things about a person. We see them, don't get me wrong, we see them. We see them. Words. You're welcome for that. All right. We see them, but we casually dismiss them. The things that we don't like about that person. Maybe they're too bold. Maybe they're too, quick on their boundaries. Maybe they're too firm on their boundaries, and it makes us highly uncomfortable. But if they didn't have those boundaries, they wouldn't be the person that they are. So if you love a person, you love all of a person. The good and the bad. The things that rub you a little raw and the things that just make you smile and light up, man. You love all of them. But the people out there in the world, even our own loved ones, we love a perception of them because we do not ever know every little nitty-gritty thought that goes through their brain. We have not walked in their shoes. We see it from a different perception, okay? Write down every little detail about this person that you envision yourself being, that you want to be, all right? All the way from how do they do their hair? How do they dress? How do they talk to other people? How do they talk to themselves? All right, write down the boundaries that person has. Write down the type of job that person has. Write down the type of money that person has. Be realistic. As I say, money, there's a whole bunch of y'all that are going to go, I want to be a gazillionaire. But you're not willing to do the work for that. And do you really want that life? Because remember, if you love a person, you love all of that person. If you're going to be a gazillionaire, you got to love the life that comes with that price tag. Saying what I'm saying. All right, so if you don't want to be this massive person in a spotlight, just saying, there's a lot of haters out there, all right? And they put their unhealed and their raw emotions onto those that they see being successful. So I'm going to remind you of this one more time. Where are your boundaries at? And where do they need to be at? And if you're willing to talk about other people in a negative view, then don't ask to be like them. I'm saying what I'm saying. And you're welcome for that. And I know that hurts some heartstrings. If you're not willing to talk decently and to see the good in other people, don't ask them to see the good in you and expect a return of that same energy you put out, whether it is to their face or behind their back or something you silently say in your brain. Okay? Check in with yourself. All right, this is a deep question we're going through. All right, so name every detail about them. Do they trim their own toenails or do they go to the salon? What is their smexy life like? I'm just saying, like, are they out there having a lot of fun or are they, a little bit more celibate? Whichever it is for you or in between or whatever it is perfect for you. There's no judgment. This is a place of judgment-free, no bias allowed to the best of our ability, but it is truly just being honest. All right? Step 2, make a bullet point list in your journal that goes along with this. You need a journal to do this, by the way. Saying what I'm saying. All right, make a bullet point list. Boop, 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 of all of the things about becoming that dream, truest, most amazing version of you that scares you. We're not looking at events in our life. We're not looking at what other people have told us. We are simply noting that we're afraid. Because fear is not a weakness. Fear is one of your greatest strengths. But here, we have to be honest that we are afraid. We have to be honest that we don't like this, that we're uncomfortable with this for some reason or another. We're not going into the reason why. We're simply making note of the fact that you are afraid. Maybe you're afraid to speak up and let your voice be heard. Maybe you're afraid to put your face out there and to go do that thing, to start doing those videos, to start running that business like the boss babe that you are of your life. Maybe you're afraid to look in the mirror and truly acknowledge that the person looking back at you in the mirror is a real person that has gone through hell and back to get you to where you are. And it's time that you need to forgive yourself because you weren't what you thought you should have been in the here and the now or in the past. Maybe you ran and hid when all you wanted to do was stand up and be the hero in a situation. And you're still holding that over yourself. Maybe you're looking in the mirror and going, oh my God, you're getting so old. Why do you look like that? Maybe you put on a little weight. Maybe you lost weight. And you're looking in the mirror going, oh my God, I look horrible. You know what? You have earned every gray hair on your head, every wrinkle, every scar, every bruise, every mark that life has left upon you. You have earned that, and it is a badge. It is not a thing to be ashamed of. Age with grace, babe, because you fought so damn hard to get to this point right here. Like, y'all, you have fought to get here, and you have done so many absolutely extraordinary, amazing things in your life. Next time you look in the mirror, tell yourself you're sorry. Tell yourself that you forgive yourself. Tell yourself that you love you, that you accept you, that you are the reason why you are able to be where you are, to have the blessings in your life, because every single one of us have blessings in our life. Take a moment and say thank you for all the things that you have. You have a roof over your head. You have food on the table. Your bills are paid. It might be tight. It might be hard to maintain that. But you have it. You have people in your life, whether you know it or not, that love you, that care about you, that are rooting for you, that are supporting you, and they are your biggest cheerleaders. Even those people that we don't even know in person. All right? Take stock of the things that you have and say thank you. And if it's time to clear a house, go ahead and clear the house. Those things that you're grateful that you have so much stuff. I have all this stuff. I have all this stuff. Oh, yeah. But you have all this stuff and it's overwhelming. Might be time to go through and clear it out. Because all of us, somewhere inside, we all have little hoarder issues, or we have the exact opposite of like a minimalist to an extreme issue. We all have levels of this, y'all. So don't try to say that you don't have an issue with buying all the shoes, or that you refuse to have this anywhere realm because it might leave a mark on your white countertops. We all have our issues, okay? And we all have these same kind of things in our own perspective, in our own reality, in our own way. Step 1 for this week's question of the week: why are you afraid to become that person? Asked you to take a pause and look over that bullet point list of all the things about that person, that dream, truest version of you that makes you highly uncomfortable. Not just a little bit uncomfortable, I mean a lot uncomfortable. Like it scares you. And there's nothing wrong with being afraid. I want you to pause, breathe, close your eyes, put your hand on your heart, and ask yourself, in the here and the now, remembering that you are no longer in the places that you were in the past, simply being right here, right now, in this moment. Ask yourself, why are we afraid? Such as myself. My name is Crystal. If this is the first time we've met, hello, beautiful. Crystal, why are we afraid right now to do such and such? Why are we afraid to be seen? Why are we afraid to be acknowledged? Why are we afraid to speak when we need to speak? Why are we afraid to take action? Why are we afraid to say no to that person that needs to hear no? Because I don't have the energy. Listen to what your body says. Listen to that voice that pops into your mind. Listen to the feelings that pop up. Listen and take note of what you hear. For each question that you ask for your mind, your body, your heart, your spirit, your soul's answer to that question as to why am I afraid to do and always start with your first name. Actually check into yourself by saying your name, not just go, why am I afraid? Doing that is from an outside perspective, essentially for your inside, your inner truth. And we're talking to your deep shadows, your inner child, your inner mother, your inner father, your inner warrior, all of these different levels of you. Why am I afraid? When you say your name, you're talking to yourself, that deeper person, deep inside of you. Crystal, why am I afraid? All right, so I'm going to tell you a little bit of a story. When I was younger, much younger, back in like especially my teenage years, I used to have a lot of fun talking in third person. It's like, oh, Crystal doesn't like that. Crystal wants to do this. Oh, Crystal likes this. Okay, yeah. I'll tell you what, you hear enough times of people telling you that people that talk to themselves in the third person like that, that is the first sign that they're crazy. You start to believe it. Well, I already knew I was just, a little bit off. And I'm cool with that. It's part of my superpowers, babe. It allows me to see the world in a very much different view. A very much different? You know what I meant. Anyway, but here's the thing. When I stopped saying, Crystal doesn't like that, Crystal would love that, I stopped talking to my inner me. I used to be so connected in with myself and what I truly needed, what I truly wanted, that I could not even begin to explain, to put that into words in the here and the now. But when I stopped doing that, I stopped listening to me. I was only feeling what I felt on a physical level. I wasn't feeling that inner child inside. I was, but it was like I had muted them. I wasn't listening to my shadow self. I was, but I had muted myself. When I stopped talking to myself or talking out loud just around, I didn't care who listened. I thought it was funny. And yes, I did it for attention because I love to make people laugh. And I love to have fun. Y'all, I'm a very serious person. So anytime I have a chance to just cut back and just go out and have fun, I'm going to go out and have fun. I want to be present in that moment. I want to go do the things. I want to freaking live my life, man. I want to live life, not just see life. I don't want to just experience life. I want to be it. And when I was talking to myself and referring to myself, I might be the better way to put that, I did. I was so in those moments and truly just embodying those moments. The moment I stopped saying, Crystal doesn't like that, Crystal would love that, so on, so forth, I muted myself. I started falling in line and doing the things that I was supposedly supposed to, the things that society and the people around me told me that I needed to be. I stopped being that crazy Crystal that I had always been. And I'm not ashamed of it. Now, I want to make a slight disclaimer. When I say crazy, I'm not making fun of anybody. To me, I see crazy in that, ooh, that's cool, crazy, ooh, that's awesome. Like, to me, embodying my own crazy kind of like self is a good thing. I'm not saying I'm actually crazy. And there's no disrespect to anybody. But I want to make that clear. To me, it's like being that cool kid on the block, like the cool kid in school, man. Like, I think everybody's a little bit crazy, just a little bit. We're a little touch off. But more than that, I think it's society's views of us. It's the things that we feel, that we experience, that we see, that we hear, that nobody else does, that makes us start to think that we're crazy. But we're not, because they're really actually happening. It's just not until you find your true soul family and people like you that you start to realize that, hey, the things that you've been experiencing isn't just in your head. Saying what I'm saying, all right? All right? So, when I tell you, so as I instruct you to say your name, there's a deeper reasoning behind that. Because it's in the act of saying your name deliberately and out loud as you ask your questions, as you check in with you, that allows you to truly talk to the inner you. Okay? All right. So let's keep going. Step 2. So all the moments in your life, like we're not touching into the moments. I'm going to keep reminding you of that. We're not going to relive the moments that have happened in our life. That's traumatizing and triggering, and that is not what we're about here. All right? The moments in your life, I want you to look at how you react. Okay? Anytime that you have a moment pop up in your life that suddenly, it's like a light switch hits and you suddenly instantly become, oh God, what did I do? Like you start questioning what you did wrong. Those moments that instantly like make you want to start screaming and start preaching and just like, I'm going to educate you, man. Like, that's not the way it is. You need to stop and check in with yourself and ask why. Okay? But for this moment, we're not going to ask the real why. I highly suggest that you do start asking, why are we reacting this way? Because it normally stems back to a fear. And all you need to do is repeat step 1 that we just did, where you stop and you check in with yourself and go, why am I afraid? Why am I so angry? Why do I feel this way? Check in with you. Close your eyes, sit down, take a pause, and go, Crystal, why are we so angry? Why do I feel that I need to do this? Why are we afraid? All right, go back into that third person like voice, man. It will really help. It's not a bad thing. It doesn't make you crazy. It is healthy in the aspect that we are talking about in this moment. I'm going to stand on that completely. All right. So those moments in your life, in your everyday life, that make you suddenly really mad when a certain conversation comes up. Any of those moments that makes you suddenly want to cry. Any of those moments that make you want to start yelling and preaching, especially those yelling and preaching, and you want to educate somebody. I'm just saying, check into that anger, that raw emotion. Anything that makes you have a negative reaction, and it's like a light switch. You could have been the happiest go lucky person ever that ever walked the earth, and then suddenly you're just like, oh, I'm gonna get someone and I'm gonna get them. Like, oh, I'm gonna serve a big dish of revenge here. All right, I'm gonna start casting weaving spells. Anything that makes you instantly want to do something is when you need to stop and check in with yourself. Make note of when these start raising in your life, the types of events or moments. Just take notice of them. And by writing them down and taking note, just make a bullet point list. That's all we're doing. Bullet points. Boom, 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 boom. I get very angry when someone questions my authority, when I tell someone to do something and they don't do it, when someone starts talking about God in a way that I don't appreciate, when anything to do with religion pops up and you instantly become defensive. Saying what I'm saying. Anything that makes me run and fear. Those things that make you want to freeze, fight, take flight, or pause and people please. It's okay, I'll make it better, I'll fix it, I fix it, I fix it, I fix it. And it's an instant light switch. All right? Take note of the moments and your reactions to those events as you go through them. So that's step 3. Write down what is that behavior. All right? That behavior that comes up in you. All right? So we now know the things that you're afraid of, openly, honestly, without judgment. We know the events that come up in your life, those random conversations, those subjects, whatever it may be, that are a trigger to you. That is a trigger. Anytime that you are like instantly, like a light switch, turned into a whole different person in an instant, that is a trigger moment from something that is echoed from your past into your present. We're not revisiting the past. Remember that. We are dealing with the here and the now of where you are standing, where you are sitting, the life you're living right this very second. All right? Not 10 minutes ago, not 10 years ago, not when you were 10 years old, but the right here, right now. This very second, this very breath is what we're talking about. Okay? Make note of your behavior, the thing that you do when that event, that subject, that conversation comes up. Make a note of it. When someone gets talking about this in a view that I don't appreciate, I want to educate them. I want to preach them. I want to teach them how they are wrong and everything they know is wrong. And I want to tear them down to their bones. And, I'm going to make their grandma, feel this echoing throughout, time, By the time I get done with this tongue lashing, they're going to know I'm mad. They're going to understand. You can't educate anybody when you're pissed off. I'm just going to say it. In fact, if you try to educate somebody when you're pissed off, or you start preaching to them when you're truly emotional, babe, all you're doing is showing your own unhealed wounds. You might think that you're educating them, but you're actually talking to yourself, and you need to stop and look at the things that come out of your mouth, the things that you say, the things that you type in right in those nasty comments. All right? Some of you love that, by the way. You're welcome. All right, so write down your behavior. Because here's the thing, every single one of us have things in our life that make us freeze, that make us run and hide, that make us pause and people please. And those things in our life that will make us stand up and fight like that mama bear and that polar bear daddy that are ready to just wipe the earth of anything even resembling whatever just happened. Every one of us have it. So don't think you're an exception to this, baby, because you are. Make note of your behavior. Make note of what subjects are triggering to you. Okay? Now, let's move on to step 4. Now that you can see the patterns popping up in your life of what subjects, what things there are, I want you to look for a very soft moment in your life where you experienced that emotion, that trigger. Now, we are not going to dive into the moment. I keep telling you this. But we are going to touch on it just the tiniest little bit, because We are not going to fix the moment. We cannot undo the past. So let's stop trying to fix our past reactions, our past patterns, our past reactions. Instead, we're going to calm the chaos they've been causing. So what we're going to do is observe our reactions, observe our feelings, like a curious little kid pretending to be a mad scientist, with that playful, open, unbiased, unjudgmental view. Because the truth is, my dear, you have never been broken. You were never bad. You simply were who you were, and that is beautiful and perfect for you, even if that had a negative outcome. We're going to check in with yourself in the here and the now. Remember, I told you over and over and over now that we are not revisiting the moments in our past. All right? Those moments happened for you, not to you, my dear. So how about instead of revisiting those moments, we start to acknowledge them openly, without judgment, without bias, and without going back and revisiting them and reliving them. Because we are dealing with the residual leftover bullshit that is affecting us in the here and the now. We are staying here, right here where we are. All right? Do not open yourself up to going back into that moment. Because let's be truthful. I am a life coach, a spiritual life coach. What I'm doing with you today is coaching you through things. I am not a doctor. So I do want to say that if you are experiencing something or you have experienced something, please go get the help that you need, because the help is out there. And we live in this amazing time with technology that we can't even begin to wrap our brain around, where you can find the people and connect to them and get the help that you have always needed, always wanted, always dreamed of, to have that person in your life for whatever it is that's popping up with you, physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, all the things, okay? And all you got to do is a simple Google search, babe. Like, you're looking for the education for someone that has ADHD so that they can thrive in school instead of surviving it, so they can get the help that they need. All you got to do is search online schools for ADHD kids, okay? Therapists for the ADHD person, or whatever it is for you, okay? Counselors that specialize in relationship matters after death, or a grief counselor. You have everything that you need at your fingertips, babe. I highly encourage you to use it and to stop making excuses, because we all do it. We all make excuses as to why we don't need help. We all have excuses and reasons in our life that make us feel as if we were to ask for help, especially from the right person that truly fits with us, that somehow that is a weakness, and it's not. It means that you're healing and you're ready to accept what it is that they have available for you, to accept their tools, their teaching, their guidance. No different than you and I right here, right now. All right? I am certified in what I do. I am not a therapist. And spiritual coaching and life coaching, or whatever else that I go into and teach you in later episodes, from the home to the hearth to all the things, okay? I'm certified in those things. I am trained in those things. I've been doing this my whole life. I was born to do these things, okay? But I am not a doctor. I want to make that very clear. It's like, for example, let me explain the difference between therapy, counseling, and coaching. All right? Because I'm a coach. That's what I do. That's what I am. Go back to high school. I know all of you just went, oh, I hate you. I don't want to go back to high school. Go back to high school. Just, just work with me. All right? Work with me, not against me. Okay. Be open to receive. All right. You have your teachers. You have your counselors. You have your coaches. And above all that, you have the principal, and then you have the school board. Okay? So the school board is the ones that puts all the rules into place of what we legally have to stick to. The principal is the one that enforces those things, all right? And if he doesn't, then he gets in trouble because he has to answer to the school board. All right. Teachers are specialized in their own special little thing. And you go to class and you are learning the things. You're learning how to do them, how to implement them. You are taking those tests. You are doing the homework. You are doing the work. You are listening. You are paying attention. Maybe you weren't, but every one of us listened to a point, enough that we could pass that class or we failed that class, all right? But the point is when you get done working with that particular teacher on that particular subject, you get to graduate. And then you move on. And maybe you have to go find a new teacher, aka a therapist or a doctor. You got to go find a new one, okay, to take you to the next level. All right? And if you got to change, make that shift, make that change. It's okay, babe. All right? We're all specialized in our own special thing. And then you've got your counselors, okay? They're like your rock stars. They're with you throughout in the entirety of your duration in that particular building, in that particular school building. And they are the ones that you go and talk to when you got problems. They're the ones that give you advice and they counsel you on different approaches. They're the ones that help you find the right teachers. They're the ones that help you get the resources that you need in order to be the most amazing you that you can be in that particular subject, in that particular event, those moments. They're also the ones that call in for help when they see that you need help, that there's actually things going on. They are there to help guide you through the more emotional and mentally trying situations. Okay? And then you have your coaches. You've got that PE coach, or, maybe you're an athlete and all the things. They are the ones that are in the game with you. All right? They're the ones that are physically going, come on, you can do this. One more lap. And as soon as you finish that one lap, they're like, okay, great. Now, because you're a smart ass, drop down and give me 10. Go, come on. 1, 2, 3. You got this. You can do it. Keep going. I know you can do this. Keep going. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Come on, almost there. One more. 9, 10. See, I told you you could do it. You got this. They're also the very first one to call time out when you take a bad hit. And they're the first one out there on the court, and they're checking to make sure that you're actually okay. They're the first one to call in help if you've actually been injured. They're the ones to go, nope, you're on the bench. You're on the bench. You're done. You're out. Because you need to be out. All right? They're the ones that are watching for those star athletes. When you're out there running your laps, you want to make the team. You got to impress that coach before you even ever try out for that team. Okay? Coaches are very picky about who they take on as a client. Saying what I'm saying. And if you're a coach and you're not, you should be. Boundaries are beautiful. And they're important. But here's the thing. There are rules in place that if you're not keeping your grades up, you're off the team. You can't play. You can't even go to the matches. Or in some cases, you have to go to the matches, but you got to sit your butt on that bench the entirety of the match. You can't play. You got to adhere to the rules. You got to keep your grades up, and you got to follow those regulations of you can't do this, you can't do this, you can't even be associated with this. If we find you associated with this, you're done. You're off the team. Which means you got to go back to that teacher and put in those extra hard work. Those extra hard work. You got to put in that extra hard work in order to get your grades back up. You got to sit down and go, okay, I don't understand this. Can you please walk me through this? I don't understand. Like, how does this plus some random letter equal that? Like, the brain's not computing it. You don't go to your coach and go, hey, coach, I'm really struggling in algebra. Like, how do you do this problem? Chances are your coach is going to go, I don't know, go talk to your teacher, man. And you know what? Life coaches do the exact same thing. If you come to us and you've got some real problems that you need to decode, you need expert help to go through, me personally, I'll be the very first one to tell you to go get your butt in therapy. Just saying. If you come to me and you've got a whole bunch of physical pain in your body, I'm going to be the very first person to go tell you to go see your doctor. And if that doctor isn't right for you, go find a specialist. Go find someone that is specialized in what it is that you need. All right? Coaching or spiritual advising is not a replacement for professional care. All right? And I say this with all the love in my heart. I'm your gym teacher. I'm your coach that's on the sideline when we're in the game and you need someone to give you that prep talk. I'm going to be the one that pushes you, that makes you get back up and give me 10 more. One more. You got this. You can do it. You can do it. Push through it. You've got this. But I'm also going to be the very first one to acknowledge when you need to take a seat and to take a pause. And I do so not because I think you're weak. I do so because I truly care. All right? And I love you. I love you. You are beautiful. You are amazing. And you have always been enough. And I want to help you see that. Okay? Not to fake it till you make it, but to truly start making those little transitions in the way that you think, the way that you see yourself, the way that you feel inside your own meat sack, so that you can truly step out there and be that version of you. Not so much as to become a dream version of you, but to become the truest you that you've ever been in your life. That you've always been. That version of you that you left muted. Maybe even put them in a cage because you had to cage that beast or you thought you needed to. Instead of just openly accepting the fact that, sometimes you need to be the beast. Sometimes the world needs the beast. And sometimes the world needs that shyer side of you. The one that is more watchful, more attentive, pays attention to everything. It's like that silent guy that knows everything. All right. Step 4, we are diving into what you feel. When you think of that soft touch moment, just that moment, we're not revisiting it. We're in the here and the now, okay? Close your eyes. Once again, we're going to close our eyes. Close your eyes. Crystal, insert your name. What did that make us feel? Check in with your heart space and listen to what your heart says. Notice how it actually feels. Is it hot? Is it cold? Is it sharp? Is it dull? Is it ripping? Is it stabbing? Describe what that thing feels like. That emotion that raises up. Feel it. Now check in with your mind. Crystal, mind of my body, what did we feel when that happened? If it's helpful for you, put your hand on your forehead or on top of your head so that you can truly tune in to your mind. Listen to what your mind says. Often, when your body talks to you with words, it's a single sentence, a single word, or only a few. Now, feel what that feels like in your mind. Now, put your hands over your stomach. Crystal, insert your name. The one that lives deep inside of me at my core. What did that moment make us feel? Listen to what you hear and then make note of what you feel. Do not give it a name. Describe that feeling as if you were describing a feeling to someone that had no idea what you were talking about. Is it hot? Is it cold? Does it make your stomach feel like it's got a rock inside? Heavy, dense, or is it light and airy? Is it ripping? Is it stabbing? Take note of it. Now, check in with your whole being. Crystal, all of us, what did that moment make us feel? Listen to what it says. And take note of what it feels like. Observe this moment. Observe the things that you're experiencing. Just observe. Just observe. We're not absorbing any of this into the here and now. We're not dragging things from our past. We're simply observing how it's resonating inside of our body. Last one. Check in with your energy body, your battery. Crystal. Energetic body of Crystal. Insert your name. What did that make us feel? Listen to what is said and listen to what that feels like in your energetic body. I want you to just sit with that for just a second, okay? Because we're going to shift that. We're going to release the things that no longer serve us. But you need to sit with what you feel. Sit with those emotions, those thoughts, those feelings, whatever comes up for you. Sit with it. It's important to acknowledge the things that come up in our life. It's important to acknowledge the moments, the events that have happened in our life. But almost more than all of that, it is important that we acknowledge our truth about it. So are you ready to shift that energy, to shift those pains, those thoughts, those emotions, all the things that just came up? Remember, we are observing, not absorbing. This is called boundaries. You can watch something without taking it in on yourself. It doesn't omit you from feeling. It just gives you more of an angelic perspective. It's noticing when people around us become uncomfortable and not taking it in on ourselves, believing that we're the reason why they're uncomfortable. When someone gets mad, you're not the reason they're mad. You never have been. All right? So when you're ready, we're going to dive into not a guided meditation this week, but we're going to dive into shifting and releasing all that residual bullshit that you just experienced. Not to forget about it, but to simply let it go, because it no longer deserves to hold space inside of you. All right, let's dive in, right? Shall we? Shall we? So come back to the here and the now in your own personal space. Take notice of what you are still holding on to. Do you still have thoughts, energies, vibrations, feelings that you're still holding on to? Chances are you said yes. Even if you only said it in your mind. I know you. I got you. Remember, I'm a coach and I'm going to push you. I'm going to push you to your limits and tell you that you can do 10 more. So I need you to come back to here, okay? You are no longer in that space, in that time, in that place, in that situation, right here, right now. You are safe. Right here, right now, you are understood. Right here, right now, you're not being judged. Be kind and gentle to yourself, because this is a big transformation that I am walking you through. When you're ready, we're going to close our eyes again. Are you tired of closing your eyes? You know what? You needed the break from life. You needed this pause. It's okay. I got you. All right. Close your eyes. Feel in to where you are feeling discomfort in your mind. Those intrusive thoughts that are still lingering. Acknowledge them. I see you. Thank you for telling me what you told me. I have heard you. I forgive you for thinking that, for believing that's what it needed to be, for any wrong, knowingly or unknowingly done. I accept you. Take a big deep breath in through your nose. Feel it all the way down to your belly button and hold it. And as you release that breath, imagine it being like a toxic smoke of all the negativity, all the negative thoughts, all the negative emotions of those thoughts, all the pains, all the vibrations, all the energy, and blow it out through your mouth. Let it drift away on the wind that's blowing. Let it drift away on the air to be cleansed and blessed. Now, take a deep, big breath in all the way down to your belly, and now put your hand on your heart. And when you're ready, I see you. Thank you, heart, for your message. Thank you for being so strong. Thank you for being a part of my life. I forgive you for feeling the way you felt when I didn't understand or think that that was the right way that you should have felt. I'm so sorry that I ever put that on you. Take a big deep breath in, all the way down to your belly button. And with that breath, feel it filling up your heart space, as if you were breathing into it. And then on the exhale, let it go. Let it drift away on the wind. Let that energy, that vibration leave your heart. Of all the pain and all the negativity and all the things that you're no longer willing to allow to continue on in your life with you. Now, place your hands on your belly. Breathe into the core of your being. Acknowledge what it said. Acknowledge what it felt. And when you're ready, exhale and let it out. Let your soul be free to be its most amazing self. Take a big deep breath in, all the way down to the very bottom of your belly. And on the exhale, see all that toxic, whatever, leave its space, leaving you nothing but powerful and amazing, just as you are. From that moment, from that memory, that residual energy that is still holding on. One last time. This time it's a little different. As you sit there breathing, we're going to check in with your energetic body and your whole being. So, breathe in. Big, deep breath in. And as you do this, feel this vibrate from the top of your head to the tips of your hair, all the way down to the bottom of your toes. Feel this breath fill you up with a light, an energy, a passion, a drive, a happiness, a peace, a safety. Let it fill you up whole. Hold that breath. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Let it go. Blow it out past your lips like the velocity that you want to let go of it. Now let's check in with your nervous system. Just sit there and breathe with your eyes closed for a moment. Notice what you feel. Notice where it's still hanging on. Feel that residual pain that's still hanging in there. Notice where you feel it at. Do you feel it on your shoulders? Do you feel it in your legs? In your feet? In your back? In your arms? In your chest? In your belly? In your head? In your ears? Where do you feel it? Where do you feel those pains? Where do you feel those strongest vibrations happening in your body right here, right now? Don't judge. Take notice. And when you have them, say, I see you. And you are no longer allowed to stay inside my space. And I release you with all the gratitude in my heart for the lessons that I learned from you, and all the forgiveness for the harm and the problems that it caused for me. Thank you, but I no longer hold space for you. Get out. Big deep breath in. All the way down, 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 down to the very tips of your toes. If you could breathe into your toes, breathe into your toes. Hold that breath. 1, 2, 3. And as you're holding this breath, you can feel it building up inside of you. And you can feel how much you want to let it go. So let it go. Let it escape past your lips to drift away harmlessly on the air. Whatever you are feeling right now is perfectly normal. You might feel tingling happening throughout your body. It may feel like a cool wave. Maybe it's a hot wave. Maybe you can just notice that something is different. Whatever you are feeling is perfectly normal for you. Whatever you are experiencing is perfectly normal for you. Okay, we're going to do a 3 deep breath exercise. We're going to calm the nerves. And with every exhale, you let go of any of that residual energy that is still holding on. We're going to clear it out. So imagine a cool wave washing from the very top of your being all the way down to your toes as you breathe in. And as you exhale, it all comes out and exits out through your mouth. Take that big deep breath in. Clear, 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 clear. And let it out. Another big deep breath in. Calm, 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 calm. Let it out. Another big deep breath in. Relax, relax, relax. Notice with each exhale how these residual energies, residual vibrations, residual pains that you're holding in your body are gone, or they've lessened, or they've shifted. If you need to, repeat that. Calm, clear, relax. You can take this as deep as you need to. Each breath is calm. Breathe in everything that makes you feel calm. And you let go of anything that does not make you feel calm, that makes you stressed, that makes you worried, that makes you scared. Breathe in a clearing energy and watch it or feel it wash through your body like water and coming back up and just going away as if you just washed dirt from your hands. Relax. Breathe in everything that makes you feel relaxed. Just relax your nerves. Relax the energy. All the way down to the bottom of your toes, and everything that makes you stressed, tense, that makes you feel uncomfortable, let it rise up and blow away as you exhale. You can take this deeper by going through everything in your mind, everything that you feel in your head, everything you feel in your shoulders, your arms, your chest, your stomach, your legs, your back, your feet, wherever it is that you still feel any residual energy. Repeat that over and over and over. And just know that as you do this practice, that you are letting go of these things. And when you're ready, open your eyes. Take notice of the difference of how you feel. You can repeat this anytime you need to. This calm, clear, relax, this 3-step, just breathe, 1 breath per word, okay? You can repeat those words as many times as you need, or you can just say the word 1 time with each breath. Calm, relax, clear. This little breathing exercise you can do anywhere, anytime, any place. All right? Just simply close your eyes and breathe into it. All right? It will help ground you, center you, align you, and get rid of anything that you've picked up from other people, from events, all the things. It will help make you sleep. This is something I've been doing since I was 5 years old, almost every single night. And I'll tell you, I can tell the difference when I don't do it at night, just before I go to sleep. Like, I literally, I get in bed, I close my eyes, calm, clear, relax, and I just breathe through it, and I feel that energetic wave. For me, it feels like a cool wave go through my body all the way down to my feet. And if I don't feel it come back up, then I know I've got a blockage somewhere, and I need to work a little deeper. Wherever I feel that energy stop moving through my body, either on the downward spiral or on the upward current. And I just tap into that area and just calm, clear, relax, and I'll work that spot until the energy starts to flow again. I use this to help relieve pain in my body, headaches, to help calm my nerves, to help calm my heart, to let go of events and other people's energies that I have picked up on through the day. It is a beautiful practice. But now, I want you to get up. Stand up. Literally stand up. And you're going to shake your body off. Shake your hands. Shake all the way down to your toes. Shake it off. You know, remember being a kid and you were like your teacher would have you stand up because you had so much energy piled up inside your body. And they're like, okay, everybody get up and shake and dance. Yeah! You went wild and you had all the fun. I'm tipping over. Relive that, all right? Go ahead and embody that. Just shake it off. And as you shake it off, you're literally shaking off any energy, any emotions, any thoughts that are still intruding in on your space. So, shake it off. You can do this for a mere 30 seconds. You can do this for upwards of 20 minutes if you need to. In fact, there's a very powerful practice. I believe it's in Chinese medicine or in Chinese healing or Chinese energy work. Don't quote me. I am not an expert in Chinese practices, but I do enjoy learning little tips and tricks about them. But that's a vast field. I'm saying what I'm saying. All right, so there's a practice that where you get up and you just shake your body, your entire body for 20 minutes. And this is said to completely release you of anything still holding on. Okay? This is said to help calm and regulate out your nervous system and all of these things. What we were just doing was calming the nervous system and releasing the old, releasing what no longer belongs to us, and releasing what was never ours to begin with, but we picked up from other people or from events, other energies that have entered into our field. All right? Now, very important note. If you are physically experiencing pain, go see a doctor. All right? If this is something that does not release during this practice, or by simply shaking it off and breathing into it, please go see a doctor and get that checked out. All right? Be open, raw, and honest with your doctor, too. I'm just saying. They can't read your mind, okay? So if you are experiencing something, tell them. You can use the same practices that we've gone through today to go through and truly check in with your body and go, okay, this is where I feel the pain. This is what it feels like. Describe what that pain feels like to your doctor. Is it hot? Is it cold? Is it stabbing? Is it ripping? Is it blunt? Is it sharp? That way, they can be better apt to help you because they cannot read your mind. Be open, be raw, okay? Be honest. All right? And a good doctor will take note of the difference in the way that you speak to them and will be able to understand you on a deeper level. Speaking from experience. Now, don't give them every single symptom that you've been experiencing in your entire body. That's too much. That's overwhelming even for a doctor. All you're trying to do is explain what it is that you're truly physically feeling, okay? Just a word from the wise of personal experience, all right? All right. Having that open conversation with a doctor and asking questions as to, such as, like, for example, what are some of the things that could cause this kind of pain, this kind of feeling, this kind of ache? What are some things that could cause that? Is there something that I can do? Is there possibly something in my diet that could be triggering this? Is there certain stresses in life that can cause something like this? Ask questions, my dear, and that will help you get more tailored, more coherent help from your medical advisor. It's not just doctors that don't know how to talk to their patients, but it's also us as the patient that doesn't know how to talk to our doctor. Okay? So remembering that they can't read minds and not all doctors are going to whiteboard you. And even if they do whiteboard you, that's when you start asking even more questions. Okay, so is there anything that I should change in my diet? Am I good to start am I physically okay to do certain exercises or to start doing yoga? Do you have any advice? Is there somebody I can talk to help me with my nutritional needs? Is there a particular professional that you would suggest that I talk to if this is something that is just a stress and I'm holding those intrusive thoughts in my brain, that I could go talk to that's specialized in helping with something like this, so that I can release this, so I can start actually healing it, so we can find the root problem? Are there some tests that we can run? What kind of tests can we run? Is there a registered dietitian around that I could talk to meet my dietary needs? Is there a particular physical trainer around that you would suggest so that I can safely start exercising or exercising more? Like, I want to start doing yoga because I understand that it really helps on an energetic level, but also a very physical level to open up and improve my circulation, to improve my joints. Ask these questions. Ask those deeper questions. I'm just saying. And the more you ask those questions, the more Your health advisor can help you, but also more than that, the next time you go back, they're going to be more prepared. They're going to be more prepared. Okay? Because you lead by example. If you are needing and craving and wanting more information than what your doctor has given you, whatever kind of doctor they are, ask the questions. What are some of the things that you could start doing to improve these situations? To improve the feelings that you're experiencing, to help cool the pain in your heart, to help warm this ice cold pick that you feel. Just as an example, okay? I'm not a medical professional. I'm your coach, and I'm calling you out because some of you really are ignoring certain things with yourself. Just in case, y'all, I am a psychic intuitive medium. I'm also an empath. So when you guys start having certain things pop up, I feel that. Not like I'm being intrusive, but you're tapped into my energy, and I can feel you. And it doesn't matter what time you watch this. You can come back and watch this over and over and over again. I'm going to feel those different energy vibrations. Not in a weird, creepy way. I'm not trying to scare you. But I am explaining why I'm so different. That's one of the ways. The rest of it is my crazy spider brain that sees connections in everything. It's really weird, and especially if you haven't had someone ever talk to you about that kind of stuff, or you've been told or misled, or you've started to believe everything that Hollywood has ever told you, or everything that you've ever heard from any religious figure. I work with the shadow. I work with your shadow. I'm my own shadow. I'm a shadow worker, just like a therapist. I'm not about bringing you into the light. I'm not just a light worker. Instead, I'm that light bringer into the dark. And when you've been living out in the sun and you're starting to go blind to the reality of your life, I'm the one that brings the night in. Because nothing in this world is all good nor all bad. It is our perspective of it. Because even the bad stuff that happens in our lives is equally good. It brings good in. And everything that is good in our life also brings the bad in. All right? We are always balanced. All things are balanced. And when we're out of balance, it causes a whole lot of complications in our life, and depression, and feeling as if you don't know what your purpose in life is, and all of these things. And we're going to dive into that next week. Dive into the next step, essentially. Separate, but similar. All right? Because after you come out of a dark night of the soul, there's a healing time. After you release old energies that are no longer relevant for your life or desired or allowed to continue on with you, or other people's energies, other things' energies, there's a transition, there's a healing time. And for some people, you start to experience this transition physically. Like you might start breaking out. There's changes in your skin. Your hair starts to change. Like your energy starts to change. It's awesome. But then you look at the mirror and you're like, what? I'm like 60 years old. Why do I have a pimple on my nose? What the? Because all things require that transition, that evolution to happen. As you release the old, your body has to physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and on a soul level, an energetic level, has to readjust to the new vibrations that you are embracing. All right? And it takes a little bit of an acclimation time. So be kind and gentle to yourself. And if you do happen to start breaking out because you just released all of this toxic whatever in your life, whether it was a good energy to begin with and turn toxic, because too much positivity is toxic, just like too much negativity is toxic. Just saying. Just saying. You have to acclimate. And so if you do see a pimple pop up on your face, or your hair changes in unexpected ways, or your skin starts to change, or maybe you start sweating profusely and you don't know why, and you're just like, there's not enough deodorant in the world. Oh my God. Like, I just showered like 10 minutes ago and I can already smell myself. And it smells horrible. That is your body purging itself on a physical level of all those toxins. Because we hold emotions and we hold energy inside the actual tissues of our body. You're welcome for that. Okay? All right. Y'all, thank you so much for listening and for joining me. And I would love to know, I would really, really love to know, because I care about you. And I'm your coach on the sideline. And I'm watching you stand back up after you just took a great big fall. And I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud of you. I know you can do this. And I know you can give me one more lap. I know that when you finish that lap, that I can say, now drop and give me 10 more. I know you can do this. And I'm so proud of you. And I would love to know where you're at now. Drop down into the comments and let's check in. What are some of your questions? You may just find them pop up in a future episode. Because every single question that I talk about here are your guys' questions. These are the questions that my clients, my customers, even my own family and friends have been coming to me for years, going, I don't know why I need to ask you this, but I'm going to ask you. I don't know why I just told you that. Because I'm a safe space. That is the simple answer. And I will never judge you. Okay? Regardless of what our social differences are, our ethnic differences, our cultural differences, our age difference, regardless of any differences that we have, and even of opinions, I am not going to judge you. But I do see you. I see you in both your light and your dark equally. And I love who you are on a level I don't even have words for. You are doing absolutely amazing. So keep going. Give me one more lap, because you've got this. Check in down below in the comments. Make sure you like. If this hit on those heartstrings just a little bit, give me a like, okay? All right, and if you're not already following me along, follow me along. I'm doing this all week long. All right? Taking you gently, one baby step at a time. And I don't care about the time frame that it takes to record this for you, to give you the information that you need, to give you that safe space, to give you that pause in life, just so that you can check in and feel yourself. All right, babe? All right. I'm going to keep showing up for you. So I need a commitment from you now. I need you to show up for you. All right? So if you would like to learn how, in a very nice and gentle process, of how to start doing just one singular thing, just for you, just because you want to, not because anybody told you, on my website, and I'll put a link down below to the blog that walks you through that nice and gentle and gives you kind of a basic overview. There is an episode on the podcast here. It is our very first episode, in fact, including a guided meditation so you can visualize the outcome of that goal, that dream, that thing that you want to go do, whether it be small or big. I always highly suggest start with a small thing, because it's better to learn how to take one step to do one thing than to just take off running when you've never walked a day in your life. Maybe it is for some, but most of us have to learn how to move our feet first. So, take something small. I'm going to highly encourage it. On the blog, that blog, I'll link down below, it includes a link back to the podcast episode. It's already right here on my YouTube. You can go check it out. And a link to get your free PDF, downloadable, printable, all the amazing things, little journal prompt of how to, it's a mini guide workbook that I designed special for you, of how to start doing one thing just for you, not because anyone ever told you that you had to, but one thing that you've just always wanted to do. This can be itty bitty bite size, like, I've never dyed my hair. I want to go dye my hair. I've never gone and had my hair professionally done. I've never made a makeover. I've never had like a full makeover of myself. What's holding you back, babe? Okay, let's make it happen. Maybe it is, I want to go see Tahiti. I just want to go to Tahiti one day in my life. Instead of it being one day, someday in your life, let's start putting things into motion, one little baby step at a time. Okay? So go grab your free downloadable PDF printable mini guide workbook of how to start doing one thing just for you. Alright? Alright, y'all. I really appreciate you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for holding this space with me. Thank you so much for keeping this a safe space. Please note that if you are hateful in the comments, you will be muted, you will be blocked, you will be removed. And then you will no longer have access to this help. I'm just saying what I'm saying. I'm picky about the people I work with. But all are welcome. Just don't be an ass. Just saying. Okay? Alright. I will see you guys next week. I truly appreciate you. If you did miss last week's episode of the podcast, go give it a listen so that I can walk you so beautifully and carefully through a deep guided meditation with all the lead up information and the steps and the deep dive into those conversations of who would you be if no one ever told you who to be. Who would you choose to be? Alright? Right, I love you. Have a beautiful day and enjoy this wonderful weekend. Okay? And I will see you on Monday with step 1 of the question of the week. This is Crystal with Milled Artistry signing off, where we are always working on all levels, mind, body, heart, spirit, soul, internally and externally, to help you step into your truest you, to help empower you so that you can start holistically being, holistic becoming is not just self-help. It is not just inner child healing. It is not just prioritizing yourself first so that you can show up for other people. Holistic becoming, our approach to life, works at the root of what is causing you grief and havoc in your life. From the home, to gardens, to foraging in the mountains, to sitting down and having those real conversations, to baking and cooking. It's whole life, babe. And not just sugarcoating it with positive affirmations. Don't get me wrong, they're great. They're great, I use them all the time. But that's just surface level. We're rewiring your being and allowing the true you to step back out. So whether you style yourself from the outside, just saying, to empower your inside, to help give you that confidence, that courage, and utilizing those beautiful metaphysical energies in your jewelry and all the things that you put on. Or if you're empowering yourself from the inside out so that the world can see how beautiful you shine when you are in your power band. Yeah. All right, y'all, keep being superheroes because you're my hero. And I love you. See you next week.